You fucking missed that, Smarty. Oh, we're live. Here we go.
Anyway. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Berardi and Cook. Sorry about Jay's little interruption there. Myself, Jay, and Gilly are going to be talking about today's Leicester game. So, without further ado. Hello, welcome to the show. This evening, we're going to be covering this afternoon's Leicester game. I'm joined by Jay and our good friend Mr. Gill, who's going to be also revealing the winner of our shirt competition, I believe.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. Point.
So, what do we reckon to the game this afternoon? Then, Jay, I'm going to come to you first. What are your thoughts, pal?
Oh, mate, I'm still gutted that we didn't win that game. People are like, oh yeah, you know, we didn't expect a result against them. Blah blah blah. It's a point. It's great. Happy clapping. Yay! You know, but I'm just like fucking useless bastards. Threw 2 points away. We were all over them. We should have won that game. You know, I don't subscribe to this train of thought about I took this before the game. I'm there in the moment, and when we're dominating a game like that and we're battering a team, I want to see us take 3 points. And I feel like against a side where we maybe would have thought before the game we might not get much, you know, to be in that position and not make the most of it, that hurts me. I find that difficult. But on the positive side, we looked decent today. We looked a lot more like a Bielsa Leeds team. And I can't remember who did it now, but second half, when that ball went over into the middle and he just pinged that pass out to the right wing, you know, like up in the air, and it dropped down. And, oh, mate, that were proper Bielsa football. We're on the break.
Did it give you the fizz, did it?
Pardon?
Did it give you the fizz? I can't remember which
one. I had to give myself a little rub, you know what I mean? I was that excited. But, yeah, I mean, we didn't make it count. That's the thing that upsets me. And the other thing was, again, we seem to have a shit ref and another team that are rolling over and banging the fist on floor and stuff, you know, when they're on deck because they're that hurt, and then they don't get anything. They're up and running again. And that seems to be happening to us every week at the moment.
I'm just going to pause. We've got another one of our Autono friends coming into the stream.
Oh, here we go.
Good evening, Carl.
All right, lads. How's it going?
How are you doing, Carl? You all right?
Yeah, right in the middle of what I was saying. Just, you know.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Jay, at the moment, like I've got this access where I can put myself in and out, and I was waiting for you to finish, but I thought, you know, I'll wait for someone else to say.
You sound like you've got COVID. Are you all right?
No, I sound like I was shouting a lot at the ref. That's what I sound like.
You should get one of them vaccines, mate. You'll be all right.
Were you shouting a lot at the ref, or were you shouting a lot at
I know he got a bit of abuse, like, to be fair.
Oh, his dad. And so are you.
Yeah. Hey, at least Luke isn't on now this week. We can get away with the whole no C-bomb kind of thing.
Maybe.
Right.
We don't know. Maybe.
All right, okay.
Yeah, you never know. Jay's probably got a metal straw full of Berardi and Coke.
No, I'm on the paper straw today. I'm on the paper straw. It's a green one. It's neutral.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
Calming myself down. But before I was so rudely interrupted by Carl appearing out of nowhere, you know, I just thought we got another team that were rolling around on the floor. We got another ref that seemed to, he were either falling for it or he were happily complicit, you know. Who knows? We need Jimmy here for the scoops on who's corrupt. But I were happy with how we played overall. I was just really disappointed we didn't make more of it. And I also was disappointed that VAR didn't seem interested at all whenever anyone from our side hit the deck in the penalty area with a Leicester player wrapped around them. And that were a thing that happened last week and the week before as well. So that's another thing that just seems to be a constant theme this year. But, you know, go on.
I'm not going to lie, Jay. I kind of wanted to come on just to refute, you know, say what you said as well there with the penalties. Like, I thought that one in the first half was an absolute stoneballer to me. Like,
I thought it was outrageous.
I don't even know why it wasn't even looked at. Like, and to be fair, I can't wait to see what Jimmy says. Like, because Jimmy's very impartial when it comes to the whole referees thing. Because we're essentially giving his profession a bit of shtick, like, and he's got to defend it. Like, but
absolutely,
like,
I get that, but it's that straight down the line. He'll be the first one to call a shit ref out, won't he?
Well, that's the other side of the thing. I'd be very interested to see what Jimmy says about that. Like, because I from where I was, and I was directly in line with it. Smart, you're not too far away from me either. Like, it looked like a stone waller. Like, he got in front of him, and then he got pushed to the ground. But these are the fucking.
We don't seem to get anything regarding. I mean, obviously the VAR interrupted the game to obviously disallow their goal, but we don't seem to get a lot of stuff. With regards to like fouls and all that sort of stuff, go all the way.
No. So you say that stuff where like you're waiting to see what VAR says, and there isn't even a check, and that's the part I don't get. I mean, by all means, carry on with the game while it's looking and bring it back or whatever. But the whole thing where you see something, you think, never mind, ref didn't catch it, but VAR will check it, and nobody does, and it's like, why are they not checking? Like, surely anything that's contentious should be looked at. Surely.
So you say that, but by that same rationale, there was a tackle on the edge of our box. And I'd like your input on this because I was getting nosebleeds right up at top at East Stand. So it's actually you can see the formations and you can see you can get a good view of what's going on, but when there's something contentious that happens, you don't have a close-up view of it. And I know that you guys are all at the other end, so I don't know whether you've had a chance to see it back or whatever. But it was while we were in front of the cop. And there was a tackle right on the edge of the box, and I was like, ooh, and I'm not sure if there were a VAR check on it or not, but it looked a bit dicey.
Was that not the one where it got ruled over because they were offside anyway?
It could have been. It could have been.
One late on in the second half where somebody got taken down, and I just thought, here we go, the ref's dying to give this, and then VAR said, no, it were offside anyway. I'm sure that's the thing you're talking about, to be fair, but I stand corrected if anyone else can offer any more insightful
like you were saying,
opinion.
Well, it was the opposite end of the ground to where I'm nearly the furthest away from that incident, But
I was the furthest away from everything today. I was on row Y.
See one better eye in the sky.
That's it.
Give it a bird's eye view. Carl, what were your thoughts on today's performance, mate?
I genuinely think that whole 90 minutes is the best we've played in the season so far. Even at half time, I thought, regardless of anything, from a neutral point of view, you probably go it was 50-50, but I genuinely thought we were 70-30 up in that first half. There was no doubt in my mind. I thought we should have been at least two up at half time. That's not saying we created chances to be 2 up, but the way we played and the build-up that we had, and Rodrigo was on fire in that first half today. Yeah, but there weren't, there was no clear-cut chances. We could have easily been 2-0 up if the chances were better, but the chances we had, we didn't make more of them. Is the reason we weren't 2-0 up. But I thought Rodrigo today, he showed he can play in that number 10, and
he's coming into his own now.
Yeah, all we're missing now is Bamford up front.
After all the stick that he's had, you know what I mean? He's kept going, and he's starting to find his form, and fucking hats off to him, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is nice to see. It's nice to see that where you've invested 27 million quid, where it's always good.
Nice to see it counts for something.
Making some good performances. Gilly, we didn't.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, if you look at Dan James and Rodrigo put together, that's over half of a Jack Grealish. You've got to expect something from him. I'm going to piss all over Jay's point here and say I think he's fucking crazy, absolutely crazy to come out of that feeling anything other than energised. We played well. Not only did we play well, but we played well against a side that turned up cynically to just break up the game. This is what we've expected for the last 2 or 3 seasons under Bielsa, of sides afraid of us. And we felt like we'd lost, or I felt like early in this season we'd lost that. We didn't have that, and people were coming and they were playing football against us and they were getting away with it.
Yeah.
And this is the first time that we've had a decent side turn up and have not tried to play football against us. You know, they've wolvesed it. They've dived around. They've been cynical. They've slowed the game, and they were doing it from minute one. You know, they did not turn up today to play football, and that is testament to the fact that we're getting back to where we've come from, because we're getting back to that level. You look at the players that have not been putting it. Not been putting it is not fair. That they've not been achieving what we expect from them, and that's Rodrigo. That's Dallas. Has not been at the level we expect from him. Calvin didn't play well last week. Didn't play well. I know that he'd been out, and weirdly though, Calvin tends to be back up to speed really quickly. Llorente's been at fault for a couple of goals in 2 previous games. So we've not been hitting that, but we're moving back to a point where teams are worried about us, and it didn't feel like they were worried about us. You know, Wolves showed up, Watford showed up, Everton showed up, expecting to be able to beat us, and Norwich last week didn't show us any fear. Leicester did, and they should, because we deserve to beat them. So while I take the point of you could look at it as 2 points dropped, actually, there's a lot of positives to take out of that game, and I enjoyed it as a spectacle to watch, even though they were shithousing the way that Watford did against us, and the way that Wolves did against us, purely on the principle that when we had the ball, we did play some good stuff. For me, it was just that thing of decisions in the final third. Is that your takeaway, Casco? Go grab it. For me, a lot of it was decision making in the final third. You know, we did all right in defence. We did actually really well in midfield today, and the decision making, just approaching their box, was where it let us down. And actually, if we could improve that, we would have slaughtered them today. We would have smashed them all over. And so, you know, there is a lot to say for the performance that we put in today, I think.
Yeah, true, mate. We've had a comment, so make sure you keep your comments coming in, guys, just so we can read and interact with you people who are watching. Mike P says, Rodrigo has been improving. He's also been recalled by Spain, so his improvement has been noticed so far. Absolutely, mate. We can't knock his performance today. I do think that we were absolutely fantastic up until we scored, and then I don't know what the fuck happened there. They literally scored straight after.
Oh, man.
You're always most vulnerable when you've just scored.
It's a cliche, though. Like, it is. But it's
to score literally straight after like that.
We've watched it happen today. You don't switch on.
There's this thing where me and a couple of mates I used to like play FIFA with regular. We used to call it a textbook kickoff, and like as soon as you take a kickoff after a goal in FIFA, if you just do the right thing, you can get directly through to goal and have an attempt, and you can score. And it was just like that. It was just a textbook kickoff. They just cut straight through, direct to the point, bang, in you go straight after we'd scored. Fucking infuriating.
But yeah. It just kind of took wind out of the sails a little bit, and I think it took us a few minutes to kind of get back and get that rhythm going again.
But you know what?
I was worried at that point.
You're very
right. That point was fantastic. I was saying to the lads that I got at games where I was saying, this is Leeds, this is what it's all about. I mean, not perhaps right up to where we've been at our best, but certainly glimpses of them, you know, playing really, really nice, neat football. The passing was a million times better than what we've been seeing over the last few weeks. The movement were there. Influenced perhaps maybe by Forshaw being introduced back into the team. I thought you were fantastic. We'll go into the actual players' performances in a little bit, but yeah, on a whole, I'm very, very happy. Perhaps, yeah, maybe we could have come back with 3 points, but I think 1 point deservedly. But yeah, I was more happy to see the lads actually performing to something like we have done.
Can I just ask you guys a question?
I'm only
going to ask this because Gill is a contrary twat and disagreed with my points. But have we reached the point again where we're now sitting through a game waiting for the Cooper moment because he seems to be like having a howler every fucking game at the minute. Like, regardless of the rest of his performance, which he has been solid at times, he'll suddenly do something completely bonkers and stupid, and we seem to be seeing that a lot at the moment, and that worries me. What do you guys think?
You think about it, right? Any centre back or any defender that makes a mistake, a keeper that makes a mistake, you're going to look like it's going to be a goal. You know, Bamford could make a mistake and lose ball. You know, it's then soaked up back midfield. The midfield make a mistake with the ball, it's soaked up by defence or anyone who's playing behind them. If Cooper fucks up, there's a 50% chance that someone's going to score. I know what you're saying. I think Cooper didn't have the best of performances today, but it's certainly not been his worst. And players are going to make mistakes. Stewart made a couple.
They are. But
Phillips made
happening regular.
Adam Forshaw made some sloppy passes. You know, the atmosphere when Tyler Roberts came on were like, oh, for fuck's sake, no, not him, and all that.
He is the new Costa.
Do you know? Well, Cooper and Tyler Roberts.
James.
Yeah, honestly, as soon as
anything
they do wrong, he's shooting like absolute max. And I thought I thought Tyler Robertson and I thought he did all right when he came on. Actually, what do you guys think?
I don't think he did anything particularly wrong. He just didn't do anything special.
There wasn't an awful lot he could do wrong, to be fair. He came on to try and progress the game, and his first touch and in tight areas, his first touch seems to be quite good lately.
Yeah.
And if he's coming on and I thought he had quite a positive effect on the game today myself. He was only on for a little while, but
I thought we weren't going into appearances. Have we started that bit?
Not too much. I just wanted your guys' thoughts on Tyler Roberts. We can go into other players and all that sort of stuff, and good players, bad players, or performances.
You know how this works.
I
There's
just wanted to get your thoughts on Tyler's input. Come on then. Come on, Gelly, you can kick off then. Give us your thoughts on player performances, any good, any bad.
Well, I genuinely... So, the most memorable game sitting in the East stand-up that I've had before was the Derby Spygate game. And at that point, on that night, was one of the most complete midfield performances I've seen a Leeds player have for 10 years. And he's starting to get back to that level. And for me, my man of the match today was Adam Forshaw, and I thought he absolutely ran. It was exactly what we needed. He's calm on the ball, he's assured, his decision making is spot on. He doesn't give the ball away, and he's got that thing where it doesn't matter who's pressuring him. He can get half a yard and he can turn away, and all of a sudden he's just got a shitload of space. And that's a mark of a proper quality player. And I know that Rad's tweet was controversial on the basis that how can we know that we can rely on a player that's not played for 2 years? And at that point he was sticking his neck out. And actually it wasn't just pressure on Rad, he was putting a lot of pressure on Forshaw at that point. Yeah. Because he was kind of saying, he is our new midfielder. Now, there he is. He's put in a performance today that genuinely... he is a Premier League midfielder. That was a complete performance, I thought, today. And actually, if the decision making that he's got, you could lift that out of him and put that into your Dan Jameses, your Jack Harrisons. We'd have some proper players on our hands there, because he doesn't tend to make bad decisions. He gets in good positions. He retains the ball well. He turns it over well. And it's not even like when he's passing the ball, it's just short range passing. So for me, he were my man of match. I mean, I don't know if you want to go through all the players, or you just want me to comment on a few, because we might do a lot of crossover. I love watching Rafinha. I know that we all do. I thought that he made more mistakes than Cooper today, but because he's further up the pitch, he gets away with it. He gave the ball away. There were a couple of times actually gave the ball away on in centre midfield, and I kind of got on his case a little bit when we first started this podcast, because I was getting a bit frustrated about him giving the ball away in daft positions, and then all of a sudden he would fucking well be
never.
but yeah, for me, I think we know he's got magic in his boots, but he is prone to that giving the ball away. Now, the great thing about it is he's such a winner. He'll go get it back. I was a little bit scared because he got booked for taking his shirt off. I was a little bit scared when he lost it in midfield that he were going to go and clatter somebody and that were going to be his second yellow. He's definitely got that in him.
Be a good boy now.
But because he's a winner. And I love that. He is a winner and he lifts the players around him. So for me, Rodrigo played well. I think Rodrigo in attacking positions did all right. He played well, not quite as well as we've seen him play, but quite well. I thought Dan James was shit again. I didn't think Jackie Harrison had a good game either. That Jack Harrison was stood on the back post, and all he had to do was let the ball hit him, and it had dribbled in. He didn't have to do anything at all, and he missed. But I still think he's a better player than Dan James, who I think is Costa with a bit of extra pace. But we saw more from Costa last season than we've seen from Dan James so far. They're my thoughts.
I think your thoughts are pretty fair. I can't knock your comments about Forshaw. I thought you were absolutely fantastic, and it's nice to see, like you say, with Rad's putting a bit of extra pressure on him. That was a lot of pressure to put on someone who's not even kicked a ball, in a competitive game for 18 months, 2 years. I thought that was a bit of a mistake seeing something like that, but it's so nice to see him. Like you say, he's such a good player. He's so assured on the ball, and so. But with Harrison, he's such a good player. It's like one of them lease cars that you think, oh, I might buy that, and then you actually buy it at the end of its lease, and then I'll fucking work that. This is not the same player as it was last year. I don't know what's going on. I don't know whether it's because he's got this chick over from wherever she's from. This piece that he's going to do that. But I don't. He's not his game, is it?
He doesn't. She's Spanish speaking, and he doesn't seem to be understanding Bielsa any better at this point in time. So look, let's just get off his back in relation to that.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably learning one side of Spanish, and Bielsa speaking a totally different side of Spanish, and it's like, well,
it'll be a muffled kind of Spanish though.
Yeah, but going back to the Forshaw thing, man, it's
hard to interpret through a pillar.
Yeah, I was chatting to one of the lads that I stand with at the games today, and I was chatting and saying, up until Forshaw got injured in our the season we won the championship before the world went to fucking shite, he was one of our best players. And our dip in form up until that Brentford game or the Forest game where Aileen came out and did that was the first interview he did really 1-to-1 with the club reporters, and that was up until that point where Forshaw was out, and somehow we managed to turn it around. But our best spell in our championship winning season was literally with Forshaw in the team. So for people to I understand Rad saying, "Oh, we've got a new midfielder, Forshaw," and people will take the piss out of that, and they will see that as you're a tight fella.
What were you saying about Luke?
Sorry, kids.
Well,
I know you probably wanted to watch
said it'd be me.
You've heard your Uncle Cal swearing, saying naughty words.
But you know what I mean? It's like you don't turn into a bad footballer overnight. That's the thing. Regardless of whether you're injured or not, you're still going to be the same standard of footballer that you were before you got injured. You just have to get back up to speed. And I'm not agreeing with what.
That's not guaranteed.
But
it's not guaranteed physically, is it?
Mentally, you'll always be the same. You'll be the same player. But physically,
that's up here.
You can't always do what you could do.
It's up here, man. If you feel,
that's right. Mentally, it's up here. That's right.
If you can feel you do it up here, then
I'm glad you're here to keep things straight and narrow.
But you think I'm talking shit, lads? At the same time, man.
No, I don't.
You're mentally,
we're just yanking you.
How you are mentally when you're coming back from an injury like that is far, far more important than how your recovery is. Because if you don't come back mentally strong, you're going to come back half the player you were. You go back in mentally strong, in your head, you're the same player you were when you got injured. And at the point where he got injured and he was out long term, he was one of our best midfielders. So if he keeps that mentality in him, he's shown today. He's come back after so long out. He started the Premier League game today, played 75 minutes.
Yeah, I think so.
70 minutes, and he was one of our best players on the pitch. His mentality is. Pardon?
Cresswell came on for Forshaw. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was.
Possibly, yeah. But
The first thing he did
was massive, isn't it?
Beast through an header. It was great.
He's a big lad.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
But anyway, that's me stopping talking shite now, lads. I'm going to go on the. I got to go on the strand, lads.
Yeah. That was almost a Jimmy, wasn't it? It went on mute before we'd stopped talking.
No, it's like, right, lad, I'm going to go and eat the picture.
I'll see you later, lad.
He's
gone. He's ruined. He's ruined his life. Oh, he's back.
Oh, am I?
What is he doing? He's chomping on a bit of bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed when under 23s game halfway through last week or at end of last week, I was really impressed by Cresswell. He's a great player, and when the under 23s for some reason took him and Somerville off, they just weren't the same team. They just weren't as assured. They certainly weren't as strong at the back.
You mean against Arsenal?
Under 23s. It was fantastic, and they didn't get a sniff really. But he's going to be a good player.
Interesting about Firpo, actually, isn't it? Firpo wanting squad today again. Now, he looked fresh against Arsenal. It looked decent. Well, I would call it for Joffrey towards the end of the game. I say, we've got nobody up front, get Joffrey on.
Yeah, Joffrey wasn't even featured.
Fat old Michael. Michelle. Michael Platini. Fuck me, that'll come back on the season. Oh dear, that well-known player.
I mean, there is an interview after the game that I want to see once we're done, and it is Forshaw, and he's just said, "Thank you to Rob Price, his team, and the manager, my wife and family for keeping me busy when it was tough. I'm thankful to everyone." I mean, it was genuinely. I thought it was superb today. So no, it's great to see him back.
No, I think Rob Price made him 2 new hips on a 3D printer in his house.
I've always wondered if he took your hips, because I've seen you move across a car park, mate.
I can't move. I'm, when you see people like pulling themselves along on a rope, that's me basically. I can't walk anymore. I'm done.
Like that guy from Family Guy wheelchair. I hope you can move around a bit, Jay. We've got the ball back to
copper, Joe.
Quagmire.
I'm on one today. I'm doing really fucking well with names.
Giggity.
Well, yeah, we've got a charity. Well, it is a charity football match this coming Friday at Goals, aren't we? So I'll be.
Yeah, if anyone wants to see me die on my feet, then turn up the first game because I'll be playing after that.
Are you playing, Smarty?
Yeah.
Good man.
He's bringing his shotgun and his flat cap.
I'm just there to kick people. I'm just going to be kicking everyone that gets past me.
Who's going in goal, Mez?
I don't know.
I think there's about 5 people clamouring to go in goal because one of the other lads has said it as well.
I think we'll all be taking turns, to be fair, once we can.
I won't go in goal. You'll be all right. We'll just lay you on floor.
Yeah, I'll be fine. But like a wall. I'm as tall as I'm wide, so I'm going to give a special shout out to Mez, by the way, for coming up to me in the marquee bar at the top of the Peacock and scaring the absolute shit out of me, grabbing me from behind and shouting "Jay!" to the point that I dropped my fucking line. I didn't know what was going on. So cheers for that,
Lou. Just while we're talking about the player ratings, I've just pulled up the BBC Sport match coverage for the game. And I just wondered if you fancied seeing if you could name the top 3 players.
From the Leeds team or in the game?
From the Leeds team, not in the game. From the Leeds team.
Top 3 players. Okay. So
in fact, no, from the game, because the top 3 Leeds players all are rated higher than anybody on the Leicester side.
Oh, good.
All right, okay. Well, one of them...
So go on, see if you can name the top 3.
One of them's got to be Forshaw, because he was great. One of them will be Raf, because he scored. The next one will be. Oh, fucking hell. I can't even think who would be third. Get fucked. No, I've gone blank. I've gone into a brain blank.
Right, so you can name 2 Leeds players.
I've got 2. No, I can name more. I just don't top.
Rudy Olsen.
Fuck it, Strike.
Right, so
let's have Strike.
So you've said Strike, Forshaw, and Rafinha.
Because I will say, when I saw that team and that lineup, I was like, "What the fuck?" And I'm fucking take me out of to Strike. He did a fucking cracking job at left back.
Okay, so you said the 3, and I can inform you you've got 1 right, Smarty.
Ooh, a little bit of a taster.
You shouldn't have told him.
It probably will be like Cooper, fucking Harrison, and James, but I reckon Forshaw's probably right. Oh, no. It's gonna be somewhat stupid, isn't it? I reckon Rodrigo.
It's not easy, is it?
Rodrigo, Forshaw, and Dallas, maybe.
Oh,
so you also got 1 right.
What?
No.
Right.
The top 3 performers
Go on.
were Dallas was the 3rd best. Then it was Phillips, and then it was Rafinha.
Phillips was shocking today.
Rodrigo and Forshaw did not feature in the top 3.
Who's their football guy?
I thought Forshaw were nailed on, and I would if I were to be completely fresh, I'd have picked Rodrigo and Forshaw. Those would be my 3.
I'd have picked Rodrigo. I forgot about
Joe Rindle spelled R-I-N.
Well, mate, we won't go there.
The correspondent was Joe Rindle, R-I-N-D-L. Who knows? Fuck all. I think it's safe to say.
Can we get him on for an interview?
ought to know better. You know, fuck all, Mr. Rindle.
You definitely ought to know better.
He should have known better.
Now then, chaps, I don't know if there's going to be a midweek pod this week because of our wonderful internationals that we've got coming up.
Well, you should know since you did the fucking schedule.
Does Forshaw solve our midfield problems now? Absolutely.
Oh, he's glazed over it, Gilly.
I think Luke's late to the pod. You have to rewind. Go back to the start.
It might have started behind us.
Yes, in short, we may cover some more stuff midweek. We may go into a little bit more and do some other stuff, but there will be. Is it Tottenham we've got next?
Yeah,
Tottenham's is next game, so we'll have a
Tottenham, then Brighton, is it?
Tottenham, Brighton, yeah, and then it's Brentford.
Tottenham, Brighton, Brentford, and then we get into that run of fixtures, don't we? Chelsea, Arsenal, City,
so
Liverpool.
We need to be getting at least 4 points out of Tottenham, Brentford.
Based on today's performances, it's getting better and better and better every week, though.
Well, Leicester are better than any of the next 3 opponents we've got.
Oh,
really? Leicester.
What do you think about them, Tottenham?
I'd say Leicester are better than Tottenham.
I think Tottenham's winnable.
I think Nuno's on the verge of getting sacked.
I think Leicester. Oh, fucking hellfire.
It's not doing well. They're not playing well. He's got genuine class up front.
Wait. What? What is
that? Why are you doing this, Gilly? Why are you doing this?
Because if this were a thing, there'd be memes flying around all over the place.
You'll end up like that fucking Iraqi guy who says there's no invasion here with tanks behind him.
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. It's all burning around him. So, seeing as though Conte is in charge at Tottenham.
Breaking news.
They have got a new man.
He's not going to turn it round up, is he?
No. Well, he's got an international break now, hasn't he?
He'll
so. Wait, so that takes away the new manager bounce.
I'm not saying it does, but given the fact that Conte is obviously one of the world's best managers, he's got let's be honest, a very, very good team on paper, and let's be right fair. they had a fucking cracking team with the right manager. If Bielsa can turn our team of fucking idiots into to promotion fucking side,
Team of idiots.
I don't know what he's going to be able to do.
We love
with
you guys.
No, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. I put us favourites against them.
No, Gilly, I'm telling you, Bielsa would win the league with Spurs squad.
I put us favourites against them.
I wish I had some of
We'll
what
give
you're
you a score prediction now.
If you want.
Gilly's going for big 4-0.
So go on, we've got Tottenham next away.
Yeah.
Then Brighton.
Is it Brighton at home? No, it's Brighton away. Tottenham away, Brighton away, Brentford at
Palace
home.
at home, then
Palace
Brentford.
at home.
I think it's Palace and
Palace
then
after
Brentford.
that.
So out of those, how many points are we getting? Are you saying 4, Jay?
Yeah, I'm saying 4.
4?
Do you remember
From 4
like when we
games?
said? Do you remember when we said the? No, I was talking about like the next 3, including the Palace game. I'd say probably 5.
Oh, fuck me.
Fuck me.
What's wrong with that? I fucking asked.
10.
So we're not losing to any of them.
No. 4 games unbeaten.
No. I said 4 or 5 out of 4 games, so that's that's a win.
And I'm saying 10 points.
That's a loss.
And I'm saying 10.
You're crazy. You're on one.
Fuck me.
Do you remember the
if it were the 4 games after these, I'd kind of get where you were coming from, but it's not the 4 games after. Fuck me.
Calm down. Listen, when we did that pod where we said about the next 5 games, what points we're going to get, I said I think we need 8. I said I think we'll get 10, but we need 8. So far we've got 5, I think, out of those. So we're not doing too bad. We're all right.
Cheers, Mike.
Breaking news.
Mike P.
Let's let him breaking news of last week without managers being sacked and stuff like that. Ham-faced shithouse has gone to fucking Middlesbrough. Oh, Collins.
No, Warnock's there.
Shithouse. No, what fucking... Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. Anyway.
Bruce is next to be sacked, isn't he? Bruce is next to go.
Hey, I tell you what, just as long as Ole keeps at the wheel.
Anyway, I'm going to mention this.
Then I'll be happy.
This is the best thing about Spurs hiring Conte. That's kept Ole in a job to the end of the season. I'm telling you. I swear to you, because they would have hired him, and that would have been it. There'd have been a force again. And luckily,
how long's Klopp got?
Fuck off.
What was his interview like? Did anyone see his interview afterwards?
I did, yeah, actually, it was all right. It really annoyed me. It really annoyed me. I mean, obviously, there was a foul in the build-up to the first goal. The referee's against them. You know, they never get anything given in their favour. But actually,
never.
He want that bad. Yeah, I really wanted to see the Teddy's getting thrown out of the cot and
did you not want
that bad.
Eyeballs out and smash yourself in around the head with a ball hammer? Like, no.
Couple more games, and then he'll start.
Yeah, he will.
That were glorious.
I can't do
that own goal.
I used to like Klopp, but I can't.
I thought he was all right when he first went there, but he's a right knobhead.
Yeah, when he first went there, we were like a breath of fresh air because he were different to what we've got, and he seemed like he were quite open and laid back. And then when you see when his back's against the wall, he's such a salty little bastard.
Or the fresh of bread air, as Hasselbank would say.
That's why no one listens to him.
And because he agreed with Karen Carney about us only getting promoted because of COVID.
That's
useless
it.
bastard.
And not even his players at Burton, it would seem.
So go on then, just to recap on these next 4 games. Gilly, you think we're going to beat Tottenham. What about Brighton, Palace and Brentford? Where are we going? You said 9 points.
10. Beat Brighton.
Awesome.
Draw with Palace. Beat Brentford. And when I say beat Brentford, I mean absolutely fucking smash them. I
hope we do. I hope to fucking God we do. Because at the start of the season, when they were doing well and we were shit, I thought, oh, no.
No, we'll batter them.
Because the next twat I want to see sacked.
Kind of air mousse in his hair dryer at half time.
The next twat I want to see sacked is that watch-tapping, gum-chewing, long-haired bastard.
No, we batter them. No problem.
Yeah.
He's got 2 first names. He doesn't deserve to be.
We might beat Tottenham. Brighton. probably draw against them. I reckon. I don't know about Palace, but Brentford, I think I hope will fuck them. I reckon at least 7 points from that lot. At least. But
You're optimistic.
Yeah. Right, chaps. I'm going to try and wrap this up. Unless any of you've got anything else to add, Mr. Gill.
I have indeed. So I'm going to take some input from you guys actually, because I did make a little bit of a boo-boo. So we're doing this live. So this will be interesting because the decision-making system goes on retweets, and I were focusing more on tags, and I got it wrong. So the decision-making system is not capable of picking up on tags, even though it's called the tag and tweet picker. It doesn't pick up on tags and tweets. It picks up on retweets. So I made a bit of a mistake on that one. Now we have, but I've taken into account people that did retweet because that's what we asked for. But I've also taken into account people that tagged because that's also what we'd asked for. So I've got a list of people that are eligible that I've worked on. And I've got all of that in front of me. So I want 3 numbers off you. And I've put together a bit of a sum that will get us to a point where we can pick off. And this will allow us to get anybody in this list. So, Smarty, you first. I want a number off you between 1 and 25.
16.
And Jay, I want a number off you between 1 and 50.
37.
And Smarty, another one off you between 1 and 25.
24.
Right. And just bear with me 1 second. Just talk amongst yourselves.
What's going on here?
Countdown timer.
Hang on a minute.
That's like Dr. Evil and wear like pawns in his games, man.
And I am now able to announce that the winner of the Auto Better Shirt Classic competition, whatever I called it, is Mr. Daniel Hopwood.
Never heard of it. Let me have it.
So we will get in touch with Mr. Daniel Hopwood and we will sort out an out to you. And hopefully it's kind of in England and shit.
That must be the first time ever, because Mr. Daniel Hopwood also won the book competition last month.
You're kidding?
Are you joking?
I'm not, no.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Daniel is probably listening. Congratulations, obviously.
We're not corrupt. We're just fucking useless people.
Wow.
Well, no, he was eligible. Just because he's won before don't mean he's not eligible now. We didn't put that in the rules.
Nothing to do with the bribes and the 15,000 tickets or something. But no, congratulations, Daniel. I'm sure that Mr. Gill will get the shirt out to you as soon as he possibly can.
Yeah, we'll be in touch.
He's making some coin out of us, isn't he?
I am. What do you think paid for all my fucking decorating? Chaps, unless you've got anything else to add, it's
the only thing to add actually is other than the charity event that's taking place on Friday, there's also a charity event. You can't tell because my mustache seems to have completely fucking bottled it. But Luke and I are both doing Movember, and in a bid to raise a few additional funds, I will be doing something immediately after this that is ill-advised. It's so ill-advised, and I'm really not looking forward to it. But I will be doing the One Chip Challenge, which is a 2 million Scoville unit nacho crisp thingy.
I want to encourage everyone to tune in for this.
It looks fucking evil. It really looks fucking evil, and I'm not looking forward to it at all.
You're going to look like you need A&E.
I'm really not looking forward to it, and I'm going to be doing that straight after this, so that'll be live in about 15 minutes when I've moved around and got some stuff prepared for afterwards. I've got log rolling
for this idiot.
I'll do some retweets from Pod and I'll get us listeners out there watching you if we can.
Don't worry, Gilly.
If you haven't done already,
beard on your behalf.
You could do with just fucking getting a cat to lick that off. It looks wispy as fuck.
Mate, love some of this. It's
Gandalf the
brilliant. Oh, you. I'm gonna shoot you. You're a dickhead. Fucking hell, I don't know why I do this.
Sorry, mate.
Come on, call it into me before.
Right. If you haven't done already, please like and subscribe to our channel so you can't miss all the rest of this fucking wonderful stuff we like to put out there in the wonderful world of Twitter. But until next time, thanks for joining us. We'll see you again.